Most men crumble. They let people walk in and out of their lives as if their time and emotions are free. They allow those who once abandoned them to return and take even more simply because they are too afraid to say no. But you're different. You've been hurt, betrayed, and left behind. But you're not here to drown in self-pity or replay old wounds. You're here because you've reached a breaking point. You're tired of being used. You want to understand why they left, why they came back, and most importantly, how to respond like the man you're becoming. You're ready to break the cycle, and I'm here to guide you through it. Let's start with the first reason they return: guilt. Guilt is one of the heaviest emotions a human being can carry. But here's the truth that most men overlook: guilt has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. When someone leaves you, especially in today's modern dating world, they don't feel guilty at first. In fact, many walk away with pride, convinced they're making the right decision. She may have left you with confidence, even arrogance, thinking you'd be fine or worse, knowing you wouldn't be fine and not caring. In that moment, there's no remorse, no second thoughts, just a belief that there's something better out there for her. Maybe it's the thrill of independence, the attention of other men, or simply the belief that you were replaceable. But life rarely unfolds the way people expect. That attention she craved turns out to be shallow. The freedom she chased begins to feel like loneliness. And the man she thought would be waiting around, texting her, begging her to come back, is nowhere to be found. Instead, you're focused, you're building, you're moving forward. And that's when guilt strikes her. It doesn't arrive all at once. It creeps in quietly like a shadow. At first, it's just a whisper in her mind. Did I make a mistake? But that whisper grows louder as she remembers the nights you stayed up listening to her problems, the times you encouraged her, the moments you stood by her when the world felt like it was falling apart. She recalls your patience, your loyalty, and your love. That's when it hits her. She didn't just lose a man, she lost the man. But don't confuse this guilt for genuine regret. There's a difference. Guilt is about her. It's not about what she did to you. It's about how her actions make her feel now that you're no longer around. That's the key to understanding this dynamic. Guilt is selfish. She sees you thriving. She sees your confidence, your peace, your growth. And instead of feeling proud of you, it unsettles her. Not because she wants to celebrate your success, but because your success is a painful reminder of her failure. A reminder that she let go of someone who actually cared. She begins to question herself. If he's doing so well without me, was I really the problem? Did I give up too soon? But instead of facing those questions and taking real accountability, she looks for an escape. And the easiest escape is going back to the man she left. Not to love him, not to build something better, but to soothe the discomfort that her own choices created. That's when she comes back. Sometimes quietly, sometimes with emotional declarations. But the goal is the same: relieve the guilt, even if only for a moment. And here's where most men fall into the trap. They interpret her return as love, as proof that she finally realizes their value. But it's not. It's a sign that she can't handle the consequences of her own decisions. Her guilt is not your burden to carry. You are not her emotional band-aid. Taking her back out of pity doesn't just let her off the hook. It tells her that your boundaries, your dignity, and your self-respect are flexible. Think about it. If she feels guilty again in the future, will she walk away again, knowing she can just come back when it suits her? You must draw the line. Guilt is hers to bear, not yours to fix. Let her feel the weight of her decisions. Let her sit in the reality of what she lost. Every time you let her back in, you teach her that your peace and your worth are negotiable. And as a man, those things should never be negotiable. You've already done the hard work. You've begun healing. You're building a stronger, wiser version of yourself from the pieces she left behind. Don't let her guilt pull you back into a situation that once broke you. You are not her savior. You are not her redemption. You are the man she couldn't replace. And that's a truth she'll have to live with. Fear of loss is a deeply rooted emotion. It is primal, instinctive, and built into us as human beings. But what most men don't realize is this: men and women experience this fear in very different ways. For men, the fear of losing a woman often comes from a place of genuine connection. A man fears loss because he has emotionally, mentally, and physically invested in someone he truly values. He sees her as a partner, someone to build with, someone to grow alongside. But for many women, especially in today's modern relationship landscape, the fear of loss is often rooted in something else entirely: control. When she left, she didn't feel like she was losing you. In her mind, she was gaining freedom. She believed she had options. She thought there was something better out there. Maybe she believed the next guy would give her the same level of loyalty, attention, and support, but without expecting her to reciprocate. Maybe she assumed she could trade up without consequence. But here's what she didn't understand. The grass isn't greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. At first, she felt empowered by her decision. She imagined a future filled with possibilities, attention, and excitement. She might have even felt relief walking away. But as time passed, reality began to set in. Other men didn't treat her the way you did. They didn't listen to her dreams, support her ambitions, or stand by her through hard times. They weren't patient. They weren't loyal. And most of all, they weren't you. And that's when everything shifted. She started to see you in a different light. Not because she suddenly realized your worth, but because she realized the control she once had over you was gone. She sees you now thriving, focused, building something real without her arm. She sees that you're no longer chasing, no longer emotionally available, and no longer under her influence. You've changed. You've become stronger, more confident, and more disciplined, and that terrifies her. Why? Because the power dynamic is gone. When you were together, she knew you'd do anything for her. She knew she could count on you to be there no matter what. That gave her a sense of control, a safety net she could always fall back on. But now she's just a spectator in your life. And the fear of losing you isn't about love or genuine regret. It's about losing her place in your world. It's about losing the emotional control she once held over you. That's what drives her to come back. She may say all the right things. She might cry, reminisce, or act like she's changed. But before you let your guard down, ask yourself this. If she truly valued you, why did she leave in the first place? Why did it take losing you to recognize your worth? The answer is simple. She didn't see your value until it was no longer hers to enjoy. And that is not your fault. It's hers. Her fear is not your responsibility. It is not your job to comfort her, reassure her, or give her back the emotional power she lost. Your job is to protect your peace. Your duty is to continue moving forward in building the life you deserve. Fear is a powerful motivator, but it is also a selfish one. When someone returns out of fear, it is not because they want to build a healthier connection. It is because they want to stop you from moving on. She doesn't want you to love someone else. She doesn't want to see you replace her. She doesn't want to lose the version of herself that existed in your life. But those concerns are about her, not about building something meaningful with you. When she comes back, she'll try to appeal to your emotions. She'll bring up old memories, shared laughs, broken promises, and what could have been. But don't let nostalgia cloud your judgment. Those memories live in the past for a reason. The promises were broken the moment she walked away. You're not the same man anymore. The man you are today is stronger, more grounded, and more self-respecting than ever before. You've grown too much to let fear manipulate your decisions. So when she comes back, remember this. You are not her safety net. You are not her backup plan. You are not someone to fall back on when other options fail. She didn't value you when she had you. That is her mistake to live with. Let her fear you. Let her regret losing you. Let her feel the weight of her choices. That is not cruelty, it is justice. It is the natural consequence of walking away from something good. You are not just any man, you are the man she couldn't replace. And that truth will stay with her for the rest of her life. The third and often most deceptive reason she comes back is validation. This one cuts deep because it reveals something uncomfortable about human nature, especially in modern relationships. When she returns, it's easy to believe she misses you, loves you, or had a sudden realization about your worth. But often that's not the truth. She comes back because she craves something more self-serving validation. Her ego is starving, and you were the one who used to feed it. Now that you're gone, she's beginning to feel the emptiness that your presence once filled. But don't confuse this emptiness for longing. It's not love she's missing. It's not the connection. It's the feeling of being desired, important, and in control. That's what validation offers, and that's what she's really chasing. In today's culture, many people are addicted to validation. Social media, dating apps, constant attention. It all creates a cycle where self-worth becomes dependent on external feedback. And for her, your validation wasn't just any kind. It was deep. It was consistent. It was genuine. When you were together, you made her feel seen. You listened to her. You supported her dreams. You were present. You gave her something real in a world obsessed with superficiality. But when she walked away, she thought she could replace that energy. She believed the likes, the comments, the new attention from other men would make her feel the same. She thought it would be enough to keep her feeling worthy, wanted, and empowered. She was wrong. Those other men didn't care about her fears or her dreams. They didn't offer comfort when life got tough. They didn't look at her like you did with real emotion and intent. They offered attention, yes, but only surface level, temporary, and meaningless. Once they got what they wanted, they moved on without hesitation. And now she's left with the silence, the shallow praise, and the realization that none of it compares to what you gave her. That's when she remembers you. Not because she's ready to build something better, but because she needs to feel like she still matters. That's when she reaches out. She'll say she misses you. She'll say she's sorry. She'll claim she wants another chance. But you must look deeper. Is she reaching out because she's truly remorseful? Or is she hoping you'll tell her it's okay? Is she coming back to grow with you, or just to make sure she hasn't been replaced? Most of the time, it's the latter. This is not about rebuilding the relationship. It's about her soothing her ego. She wants to know that she can still call, text, or walk back into your life and be welcomed. She wants to know she still has that emotional pull on you, that you haven't moved on, that you're still affected. And the moment you respond with softness, kindness, or even curiosity, she gets what she came for: validation. But you're not here to be someone's emotional safety net. You're not a crutch for her ego. You're not the band-aid she uses when her self-esteem feels shaky. You are a man who has learned to build his worth from within. And the version of yourself you've become didn't come easy. It came from pain, from growth, from choosing yourself when she didn't. Don't hand that strength back to someone who didn't appreciate it when it was freely given. When she tells you she's sorry, understand that sorry doesn't always mean change. It can mean I feel bad and I want you to fix it. When she says she misses you, it doesn't always mean she's ready to commit. It might just mean she misses being important in someone's life. When she says she wants to try again, it's often less about love and more about confirming that she still matters. And none of that is your responsibility. Her insecurities are not yours to heal. Her regret is not your closure. Her confusion is not your problem to solve. You are not the same man she left. You've grown. You've evolved. You've rebuilt your foundation. And what you've created, your confidence, your clarity, your peace, should never be compromised for the sake of someone else's validation. So when she comes back, remember you are not her emotional supply. You are not her mirror to reflect self-worth. You are a man who knows his value with or without her presence. Let her feel what it means to lose someone who truly cared. Let her sit with the truth that she wasn't irreplaceable. Let her live with the consequences of walking away. And you keep walking forward. At some point in life, every man is faced with a choice: continue repeating the cycles that broke him, or step into a new chapter where peace, strength, and clarity lead the way. That moment often comes not when someone leaves, but when they try to return. Her return is not your reward. It is not a second chance. It is your test. Many men fail this test. They mistake guilt for love, fear for genuine change, and the need for validation as a sign of true affection. They welcome her back thinking it means she finally sees their worth. But what it really shows is that she cannot handle the consequences of her own decisions. Your peace is not something to be traded away. Your emotional energy is not a resource to be used when it's convenient for someone else. As a man, your first responsibility is to yourself, your boundaries, your healing, and your future. When someone walks away, they are making a choice. If they come back without real accountability, it is not your job to ease their regret. It is your job to protect what you've built in their absence. Do not confuse her return with redemption. If she couldn't value you when you were present, she doesn't deserve access to the stronger man you've become in her absence. Let go of the need for closure from people who didn't care when it mattered. Your closure isn't found in her apology. It's found in your progress. It's waking up without anxiety, living without drama, and choosing peace over chaos. This isn't about revenge. It's about growth. It's about walking away from the version of yourself that tolerated mistreatment, settled for less, and waited to be chosen. You are not that man anymore. You are becoming a one who no longer needs to prove his worth. You are no longer chasing, begging, or hoping someone will see your value. You know it. You embody it. Choose discipline over emotion. Choose growth over nostalgia. Choose yourself. Because love without respect is not love. Attention without effort is not real affection, and a return without change is not redemption. Let her feel the loss. Let her watch your evolution from a distance. Let her live with the reality that the man she left behind no longer exists. And you keep going, keep building, keep protecting your peace. Because a man who defends his peace has finally stepped into his power.